of animal sea and animal desires. Got it? And then he asked us, swim and come to the shore. Means that try to be kamyab and successful, and try to approach your destination I have appointed for you. That is your kamal. That is your credit. That is your quality if you will achieve that goal. Got it? But as Imam Rahmatullah Alayhi said, that a human, he feels that my desires are the big hindrance in approaching that goal. These desires are not letting me to approach the goal and to achieve my goal. Got it? He says that how I will control these desires are mine, that it should not be a big hindrance for me anymore. So he comes to know through his aqli approach that you have to weaken your desires. Now, weaken your desires, what you can do? Not to eat, not to drink. Not to eat and not to drink. And number 3, that is actually the result of that, because when your body is weakened, so you are not okay for sex anymore. You don't have the desire then. Got it? So he feels it through his aql, and then he comes to know, oh, Allah and Rasulullah said the same thing, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And by doing so, you will approach or you will achieve the goal which is meant by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from every human. Allah meant for us to achieve the goal. Got it? And thus he starts the fasting. That is the high quality of human. Then the second category is that one who does not have that much sharp aql to understand this through his aql, but he hears from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he said that you have to do fasting. So he is a strong believer. He takes this wholeheartedly and then he starts fasting. And then the third category is the common lay people. Neither they are of the first category nor of the second category, but they are common lay Muslims. Yes, so they are just like forced to do that. The first one, he found out through his aqli approach. The second one, based on his strong belief in Muhammad Sadiq sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the third category, they are just like they have been forced to do that and they are doing that. Got it? Imam Rahmatullah Alayhi in Ibadat, he is mentioning the 3 categories. So here once again he says, وَرُبَّمَا يَتَفَطَّرُ الْإِنسَانِ بِزَرَرِ تَوَغُّلِهِ فِي مَعَاشِهِ وَإِمْتِلَاءِ حَوَاسِهِ مِمَّا يَدْخُلُ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ خَارِجٍ. And sometime a human, he feels through his fitanat, sharpness, through his fitanat, his sharpness, what he feels or what he finds, بِزَرَرِ تَوَغُّلِهِ فِي مَعَاشِهِ, that in this worldly life, the way I am too much munhamik and busy therein. So how much that is harmful to me as far as my approach of goal is concerned or approach to goal is concerned. That this busy life of mine in that much worldly activities, how harmful that is for me. He feels it. He finds out. وَإِمْتِلَاءِ حَوَاسِهِ مِمَّا يَدْخُلُ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ خَارِجٍ. And from his surrounding, whatsoever is entering into his hawas, he sees. Yes. And his hasa basar, or seeing power, is getting failed. He hears. And his ears, they are getting failed. And same is the case of other hawas as well. That from outside with all these things is like getting failed. And he say how harmful these things are. As far as my approach of goal is concerned, how harmful that is. So he feels it. وربما يتفطر الإنسان بضرر التوغل في معاشه وامتلاء حواسه, that his hawas are his senses that are filled up مما يدخل عليه من خارج, by those things which is entering to it from outside. وينفع التفرغ للعبادة, also he finds out if you will make yourself free for ibadat في مسجد, in a masjid بني للصلوات, which has been built up for prayer, فلا يمكنه إدامة ذلك, but to do it every day and always, that is not possible for him, because his worldly life is also there. Yes, وَمَا لَا يُدْرَكُ كُلُّهُ لَا يُدْرَكُ كُلُّهُ. But Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that the Arab, they have a very golden saying, that whatever you cannot achieve and avail wholly solely, so just get some of that. وَمَا لَا يُدْرَكُ كُلُّهُ لَا يُدْرَكُ كُلُّهُ. Something which could not be availed totally, so just get a portion of that. Got it? So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, فَيَخْتَتِفْ مِنْ أَحْوَالِهِ فُرَسًا. Ikhtilaf is just like, look at me, like an eagle. Like what? An eagle. Yes, he comes there from, and yes, and a pigeon or whatsoever is there, and take it. That's called ikhtilaf. Snatching, yes. So that's called ikhtilaf. فَيَخْتَتِفُ. This ikhtilaf is specially for the birds. فَيَخْتَتِفُ مِنْ أَحْوَالِهِ فُرَسًا. So he is snatching or taking out from his conditions sometimes, some are intervals, some pauses. فَيَخْتَلِفُ مِنْ أَحْوَالِهِ فُرَسًا فَيَعْتَكِفُ. So he is doing i'tikaf, مَا قُدِّرَ لَهُ. How much has been written for him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he comes to masjid and he does i'tikaf. وَيَتْلُهُ. So this is the first one, who is feeling through his own approach that these worldly activities are making me crazy. Let me have some time for ibadat, to focus on Allah, on ibadat. So then so this is the high quality. And then the second category of people, وَيَتْلُهُ. And after him, the number is come of that one, al-mutalaqi lahu min al-mukhbir as-sadiq, who has got this idea of i'tikaf from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bishahadati qalbihi, with the testimony from the bottom of his heart, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you will devote yourself for i'tikaf for some time in a masjid which has been built by Allah, for the salawat, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will be getting this reward and this reward and this reward, and you will be having the purity and transparency of your nature. It will clean your zehn from inside. Got it? And then the third category of people is wal-ami al-maghlubu alayhi. The third category is the common layman. Ami mean the common layman, al-maghlubu alayhi, who has been overtaken by worldly activities. Yes, I'm not giving example of Abdul Qudus. Yes, wal-ami al-maghlubu alayhi kama marra, as he said in the beginning of the bab. وَرُبَّمَا يَصُومُ وَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُ تَنْزِيهَ لِسَانِهِ. And as we mentioned before, look at me, that there is visible shape of fasting and there is invisible shape, or you can say physical side of fasting and spiritual side of fasting. So physical side mean you have not to eat, not to drink, and not to do sex. And spiritual side of that, not to use your tongue bad. Not to use your backbiting, yes, slandering, telling lies, and things like that. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, and most of the time, Yasumu, he is fasting, وَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُ تَنْزِيهَ لِسَانِهِ, but he cannot clean his tongue from bad talk, إِلَّا بِالْإِعْتِكَافِ, but only if he will stay for i'tikaf there in masjid. So it will remind him, no, you are in masjid, you are in i'tikaf, astaghfirullah. Yes. وَلَا يَسْتَطِيعُ تَنْزِيهَ لِسَانِهِ إِلَّا بِالْإِعْتِكَافِ وَرُبَّمَا يَطْلُبُ لَيْلَةَ الْقَدْرِ. So for that also people are doing i'tikaf to control his tongue. وَرُبَّمَا يَطْلُبُ لَيْلَةَ الْقَدْرِ. And as the ulama are talking about Laylatul Qadr and the reward, yes, and he wants to have the Laylatul Qadr. وَرُبَّمَا يَطْلُبُ لَيْلَةَ الْقَدْرِ وَاللُّسُوقُ بِالْمَلَائِكَةِ فِيهَا, and as that is mentioned in hadith, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that in Laylatul Qadr, the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are shaking hand with the Muslims. Got it? Or they are getting mingled with those who are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this guy also wants to have some connection with the angels. فَلَا يَتَمَكَّنُ مِنْهَا, but he cannot have it, or he does not have that power to get into إِلَّا بِالْإِتِكَافِ, but only if he will devote himself for itikaf in masjid. وَسَيَاتِي كَمَانَ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that about Laylatul Qadr later on I will talk to you in detail, so that is coming. وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَلَى خَيْرِ خَلْقِهِ مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ وَأَصْحَابِهِ أَجْمَعِينَ بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا أَرْحَمَ الرَّاحِمِينَ. So we got Laylatul Qadr because Abdul Qudus is there and Hamid.